Madam Lagarde, thank you very much. And welcome to Indonesia. This is the second time we met, and the difference is we met in Bali. That's even better.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, the world is coming to Indonesia. The participants increasingly, significantly. Wow, that's brilliant. The participants like 34,000, I think. So, what do you think the world will see Indonesia after 20 years financial crisis that we experienced?
I think all those coming to Indonesia at the moment, and certainly us at the IMF, we want to first of all express our support, our sympathy, and our condolences to the people of Indonesia, and particularly those two areas that we have just visited, Sulawesi and Lombok. I was in Lombok yesterday the whole morning because we wanted to physically show that we care, that we're concerned, and that we want to help. So the staff of the IMF actually contributed to a fundraising exercise in order to help and to make a donation to the people in Lombok, to the people in Sulawesi, in order to help as much as we can. And I was so impressed by the stamina, the perseverance, and the smiles and the energy of people. It was just astonishing and inspiring, honestly. I know it's been hard and terrible for those who have suffered, but it's really a testament to the resilience and the I would say the generosity of the people of Indonesia.
Yeah, but thank you for the nice gesture, for the donation, for...
Oh, and we're on a roll because we are staffing 2 tables here at the annual meeting so that anybody who comes to the annual meeting, and there will be at least 30,000 people, that if they want to make a donation, we take any currency, rupiah, dollar, euros, anything, and we will organize for the proper conversion and destination the 2 affected areas.
Thank you. So get back to my first question. How do you think the world will see Indonesia after 20 years we had a financial crisis?
I think Indonesia is in a far, far better position, in a different place, and a lot stronger than it was 20 years ago. Many things have changed. Many things have happened. If you look at the GDP per capita, it has more than doubled in those 20 years. If you look at the fiscal deficit, it is under control. If you look at inflation, it is under control. If you look at debt, it is under control. If you look at employment, it's high. So the economy of Indonesia is in very solid and strong hands. And what Indonesia is perceiving and receiving, like all other economies in the world, and all emerging market economies are in the same position, is this external shock that is produced by monetary tightening, the rise of the dollar. But it's not a story about a weak rupiah, it's a story about a strong dollar. Because when you look at the rupiah relative to a basket of currencies, it is fine. It's vis-a-vis the dollar, because the dollar is appreciating so strongly. But Indonesia has very solid fundamentals, and its economy is run with the degree of discipline and flexibility that we believe is the right combination in order to surf this wave.
Yeah, but still Indonesian people, some analysts are still worried and nervous because even though banks are safer now, but we have our domestic problems such as deficit current account. Export is lower than imports. Rupiah, as you mentioned, depreciated, but it's because of the global shock. But we are nervous and worried because would it, like 20 years ago, the financial crisis?
No, it is, as I said,
nothing like that.
Indonesia is in a different place. It is much stronger, much sounder. It has good fundamentals, and we certainly do not see the Indonesia that was there 20 years ago. It's a much stronger economy.
People then make connection. Oh, we have a domestic problem, and IMF came to Indonesia. Would we need a loan from IMF?
No. Number one, Indonesia is certainly not asking for one, and it is not weak. It is not facing balance of payment issues. It is certainly not a country that needs a loan. It's a country that is dealing with its own issues and which has, good policy in place and good discipline when it comes to budget. So no, and the IMF is not coming here
for Indonesia, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the IMF and the World Bank come here to have the annual meetings, as we did 3 years ago in Lima, as we did 6 years ago in Tokyo, because Indonesia was the best of the countries that competed to receive this added economic value, this business that is going to take place in Bali.
So how do you think Indonesia should use this momentum?
I think that the country needs to be steady, to steer the boat of Indonesia, not drift, not anchor, but continue very, decisively using this policy mix of good, flexible monetary policy, this fiscal policy that focuses on growth value, but with enough discipline so that the fiscal deficit stays under control. And, if the rupiah is depreciating, is because the dollar is appreciating, if you will, it might put the Indonesian exports in a good position, because the currency being, depreciated relative to an appreciated dollar, you can then sell more products.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, then we get back to our theme about the women.
Yeah.
During this annual meeting, IMF also held this panel discussion about empowering women. Why do you think IMF this is important for economic growth? Why would you think this is important for all of us?
Currently, everywhere in the world, pretty much, women are underemployed, underpaid, and the economic contribution is undervalued. So we need to fix that. And if we do, it's going to be good for growth. There will be more growth. It's going to be good for diversification of the economy. And our study demonstrates that it is also going to be more valuable for exports and SMEs. So it's a triple bonus to include more women in the workforce and to make sure that there is no discrimination against them, so that they get, for the same work that they do, the same pay as men would. So it's an economic no-brainer to include women in the workforce and to facilitate their access and to eliminate the discriminations. And to share at home the burden that always falls on women between women and men.
Yep. And you also mentioned about the research, recent works by IMF, and there's new findings about this. Let's talk about the new technology, because this is what we are facing now, digital technology. How women would benefit from all this new technology?
First point, our additional research demonstrates that women, because they complement men, when they join the workforce, they actually add more value than if you were just adding a man. The complementarity between the two gives an upside. So that's number one. Number two, when you look at the new technologies, women are more exposed to the risk of their jobs being eliminated or discounted or displaced. And why is that? Because they tend to discharge repetitive tasks. They tend to be in a low clerk positions. And those jobs are more likely to be automated, are more likely to disappear to the benefit of artificial intelligence, of robots, than the other jobs. The numbers are not striking, but they are sufficiently strong. 11% of women are at risk of seeing their job gone or significantly changed. Only 9% of men. So again, there is slight inequality at that point.
Okay, we have discussed the range of challenges and opportunities in empowering women. But what do you see as the main bright spot looking forward?
First, good bright spot is that economies are moving more and more in the service sector. And that's an area where you don't have to have big muscles, but you need to have brain, and women are not at the disadvantage, if I may say. That's number one. Number two, you see more women moving in supervisory position, in management positions, and that needs to be encouraged because they provide role models, they lead the charge. Hopefully they will make space for other women in the organizations. Those are two big bright spots that I see. And if the right policies are in place to encourage women to benefit from the digital innovations that will come about, whether it's in microfinancial access and the educational skills that comes with it, or whether it is by becoming, the superstars of computer engineering. Women stand to benefit because we start from a relatively low base.
Yeah. So the big message is the gender diversity matters.
Gender diversity matters enormously, brings about productivity gains, brings about more growth, brings about more diversified economy as well.
Right.
And it's just good.
Yeah. Well, you gain nothing without women.
That's true.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Lagarde. It's always nice talking with you. Good luck with the whole event. Enjoy the rest event and enjoy Bali. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.